Hey guys, today I want to show you a full kitchen tour. Never really done a video like this before. I did a home tour in the past, but never really went into details on like where we store things to keep the kitchen functional. And I love having an organic feel to the kitchen with lots of greenery and plants and natural woods and fresh fruit everywhere. So I just wanted to show you how I keep my kitchen when it's not a total mess with 4 kids. So here we go. This is the island in our kitchen. It's really the heart of our home. We spend a lot of hours on here. It's really big, as you can see, and I love that we can have lots of space to put lots of fresh fruit on here so the kids can just jump up, grab and go. And it just is really appealing to see lots of fresh, colorful fruits on the table, and we eat a lot of fresh fruit in this house. And I love that we have 4 bar stools here, so the kids can all eat here throughout the day, have their breakfast here. This is pretty much where the kids eat their breakfast a lot of times, and sometimes lunches if we're not outside. But yeah, we pretty much just keep like our utensils and our knives, and then lots of fresh fruit on the island. And these squash is our kabocha squash. If you've seen past videos of mine, I've talked about how we grew these squash in our garden this year. We had so many squash that we got to share with friends and neighbors, and that we're enjoying as well. It's such good kabocha squash. So we're still enjoying the end of our harvest from the season of kabocha squash. So we got a nice big bowl of kabocha squash. And then most of our fruit is from the farmer's market, but we do get some fruit that is imported, like the apples here. The kids love apples. Alright, and I love our big gas stove. We cook a lot of big dinners because our family eats a lot with 4 kids, and our kids eat so much I can't even imagine how much they're going to eat when they're older, and like teenage boys and Scout as well. So we use a lot of big pots in our dinner. I also have this new pot that I'm excited about. It's such a pretty color. My mom surprised me and sent me this pot because it was on sale, and I just think it's so cute. I'm excited to start cooking with it. Andrew cooks a lot of our dinners, so we both love that he gets to stand here and cook while I can like maybe sit on the other side, have a conversation with him, or the kids are sitting there doing some math books and we're just doing it together as a family. It's just real open, and I love that. And I just love that it's so big, so we have like lots of room to cook lots of food all at once, different pots going at the same time. Alright, when we bought the house, the kitchen was already structurally done, including this awesome chandelier, which was something that really sold me on this house. I just loved how organic and natural it was. This is actually driftwood from the island. Lots of driftwood rolls up on the beach, and so it has lights wrapped around the driftwood that I think looks super nice, and I love how unique and one of a kind it is. So that's pretty cool. Alright, I love this section of the kitchen because it has a big sink, and then I put a lot of our bulk items up here in the windowsill. I love to make fresh granola for us to have for breakfast a lot of times, and just other bulk items like lentils and nuts and that type of thing. And you got lots of oats going here too. And we put our fresh herbs here. We've got some plants and garlic, and I love this wooden dry rack that I put our dishes on throughout the day. We do have a dishwasher, but there's certain items that we use multiple times a day that I dry here throughout the day. So it's normally really full, but I cleaned it up for this video. And a lot of people ask me where I get this wooden dish rack. I have it up on my Amazon storefront. I got it on Amazon. So if you want to, I'll put the link below to my Amazon storefront. You can check it out in the home goods section of some of my favorite things that I get on Amazon. I love having plants in my kitchen. It just keeps it fresh and really just natural and open, and I don't know, I just love lots of plants all throughout my house. Yeah, I just think this one's so cute and it's so healthy. I need to get more of these vines in my house, really. Fill up our water currently. Andrew fills it up in town with like regular reverse osmosis water, but I'd like to eventually install a good water filter and have a faucet here in the sink so that it's not taking up space in the kitchen, and it'll just be easier and more convenient to do that. So eventually we'll do that. We just haven't gotten around to it. But yeah, that's where we get our water and fill it up every few days. We go into town and get that. Down here we keep our compost. So we eat a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables. We have a big compost bin that we fill up our fruits and vegetables in throughout a couple days, and Andrew takes it out and puts it in the compost that we have in our yard. And over here we have our blender station. We make a lot of fresh smoothies and blend a lot of fun sauces in our blenders. We use the Vitamix blender. We've been using Vitamix for so many years. We had one Vitamix blender that lasted like 9 years, and I think it was a couple years ago that we got a new Vitamix blender. So it's totally worth the investment because you can use it so long and for so many things, and it's just really high quality. Love the Vitamix. And we even have like a bigger size container and a smaller size container because sometimes we want to make smaller sauces or single serving smoothies for the kids, or blend up dry nuts or flax seeds, and it's just a lot easier to do smaller portions in this little blender. So we definitely use both throughout the week and the day. every single day. All right, over here we have our pantry and just like odds and ends, big items that I try to keep out of the way. So we have our juicer here that we grab and get out a few times a week and put it out on the island when we're ready to juice. We have a toaster, our citrus juicer. We keep our onions and our potatoes back here. And underneath here we have our bulk stuff. It's really not very organized or very nice looking. Maybe I could fix it and make it look better. But we have our pressure cooker and we have canned beans and dried beans and our big bulk rice. All that stuff is under there. We even have our dehydrator down here, which we haven't used in a while. Now on this side, we have our fresh bananas. This is where we line up our fresh bananas from the farmer's market or from our garden and just fill it up throughout the week. And then whenever they get super ripe, if it's faster than we can eat it, we'll freeze them. But we eat a lot of fresh, ripe, local bananas throughout the week and we love it. Up here is our spices and our pantry. I've done a whole pantry video in the past. I'll link below our pantry tour video so you can see all the stuff that we stock up here and the types of dried goods and pantry food that we eat. But right now, it's really not very organized. Alright, so in here I store my teapots and teacups, a little bit of Tupperware items, and a lot of people ask me where these mugs are from. This is Andrew's uncle actually makes these. He's actually a surgeon and this is like what he does on his downtime is make these beautiful ceramics. So I love them. And then over here we have some Tupperware. I use old sauerkraut containers to reuse them for Tupperware items. And I love these lids with these big containers. This is also in my Amazon storefront if you want to check it out. Here we have our dish towels. We don't use paper towels, we use dish towels instead. And I got a lot of these from Anthropologie. I just love brightly colored, beautiful dish towels. Okay, over here we have our silverware drawer. Nothing exciting, just a nice big drawer to keep all of our silverware. Okay, but I want to show you something that I think is really functional for a family with little kids. We have a drawer over here that we leave our wooden plates that the kids can grab whenever they're wanting to make some food on their own. I really try to encourage self-sufficiency and letting them make food on their own when they're feeling like it and when they're inspired to, because the kids love to do big kid things and they want to try to be self-sufficient. It's a super natural desire and I like to encourage that so that it's easy for them and safe and something that I don't have to like feel anxious about if they're like walking around with breakable dishes. This just makes it a lot easier. So I have wooden plates and bowls in here that I just leave in a drawer that they can reach so they don't have to like climb up high, and they can grab so that they can like cut some like fresh fruit or grab stuff from the fridge to make a plate for themselves of lots of different dishes. And I have nylon safe kid knives so that it's just easy for them to grab, which is in the dishwasher, and that way it's easy for them to grab both and just bring it to the cutting board and make themselves something simple or, you know, a little meal for themselves. Elvis actually really likes to make salads for himself, so this is just an easy way for him. Although he's big enough now at this point where he's using like the bigger knives and like grabbing the glass or porcelain bowls so that he can make a bigger salad for himself. But especially for Scout and Sandy, this is a nice little drawer to keep. So if you have an option in your kitchen to create a drawer that's at their level with wooden plates, which I also have wooden plates on my Amazon storefront that I like if you want to check those out, and make it easier for them to become self-sufficient and do more things for themselves in the kitchen. Okay, now I want to show you our fridge. I've done a couple fridge tours in the past, but I'm trying to do more food prep and meal prep so that way I'm having an easier time making healthy food now with 4 kids, because it's getting overwhelming sometimes to keep making lots of fresh food in the kitchen. So if I food prep, it's getting easier. So I just wanted to give you like a little updated tour of the type of stuff that I have in my fridge. Here we have some sliced carrots and celery, and we keep it in water because it'll stay fresh longer if you keep it in water. But it's nice that it's already pre-sliced, so when the kids are hungry for a quick snack, I can just pull out some hummus, pull out the veggies, and they can just start dipping away. Or when I'm hungry as well, it's a nice quick easy snack. Next we also have, I have like a little bowl with some, you know, half-eaten jalapeno or half-open jalapeno that I'm going to use for a recipe later today. And then we also have a block of tofu. The tofu we buy normally comes in a package of 4 blocks of tofu, but we have 1 left right now. Behind it, we also have some miso that we use in Asian dishes, and we have some vegan cheese that sometimes Andrew puts a little bit on top of like vegan lasagnas and stuff. So this is the brand that we get for that. It's really good, the BioLife one. All right, behind here we have some cashew sour cream that we use throughout the week on like taco dishes, and there's just a little bit left over from dinner a few nights ago. Okay, we got some vegan yellow curry paste that we use for curry dishes. And we have some Maui green salsa, which is this is a really yummy green salsa called Tiffany's Slammin' Maui. We also have some dressing in here that I made. If you watch a previous video of mine, a recent video all about meal prepping, I make this dressing along with this ranch dressing as well, both vegan, awesome, delicious dressings to have preps. That way it's easier for me to like grab and go and have really healthy salads. I also have some super seed nut butter, which is a simple recipe in my ebook that I also shared in the meal prep video about making a super delicious and healthy nut butter. Down here I have some leftover vegan queso. I was like playing around with a new recipe and I had to make it a couple times. This one wasn't perfect, but it's still good enough for me to reuse for something else. I'll probably make some pasta and just use this sauce to mix it up. Then we have some fresh coconut milk that Andrew made yesterday from the coconuts from our yard. It's so good and so creamy. We used the rest of the milk that he made last night in a curry dish that we ate for dinner last night, and so that's what we have for leftovers over here. We have lentils and leftover rice and the curry, so we just mix it all up together for leftovers and it's super delicious. Sometimes I'll like reheat the curry sauce and pour it over the leftover rice and lentils. And in here we have some awesome barbecue chickpeas that I made. This is also in the meal prep recipe that I did a couple weeks ago. It's super delicious to add to salads. I love it. The kids love it. They'll just grab the dish and just start popping them in their mouth. And it's a really healthy snack. So check that out if you want this recipe. Okay, what else do I have in here? We have some thick and chunky salsa from Whole Foods. This is like my favorite salsa. It reminds me of the salsa I ate as a kid, which was that like super standard one. Anybody know what I'm talking about? It's like the big giant. And then we have some sauerkraut. We used to make our own fresh sauerkraut, but we just got out of the habit. We've been so busy lately, but I'd like to eventually get back into the habit, but this will do for now. And we have plant milk, oat milk, and macadamia milk. Pickles. My kids love pickles, and this is a really yummy, fresh brand. It's super delicious. It's so funny because I loved pickles as a kid. Every time I got home from school, I would eat like half a Costco muffin with pickles, and it was like my favorite thing. And it's so funny that my kids love pickles too. We also have some veggie broth and some hummus. I like to make my own hummus sometimes, but sometimes we just buy the big box ones. It's a lot easier, more convenient, and the kids love this one. And then we have celery. We do a lot of juicing or green juices with celery. And then carrots, which we use in a lot of different dishes in our dinner veggie dishes, and also for sliced veggies with hummus, like I said earlier. We also have some ulu in here. Andrew's probably gonna cook it up today or tomorrow, which is also called breadfruit. If you don't know what it is, it's a traditional Hawaiian food. And we planted an ulu tree, but it's not fruiting yet, it's quite small. So this was from a friend's tree. And we got some mushrooms that we use in our dinner dishes throughout the week, sauteing them with other vegetables. We also have some Ezekiel bread. This is our favorite bread. And we have some leftovers from 2 nights ago, which is a lentil soup. Lots of different veggies. The recipe's in one of my ebooks actually. It's in Epic Vegan Food. So if you want the recipe, you can check it down below. We also have a couple beers back there. Andrew drinks some beer, you know, once or twice a week. He'll drink 1 or 2 beers. And then we have some maple syrup. And we have Cholula that we like on our taco dishes. And there's like 1 tablespoon left of coconut aminos. And we have some olives. I love Calaban olives. And then we also have some pickled bell peppers and onions that our neighbor made for us, which was really thoughtful and super delicious. All right, in here we have our avocados that are ripe and ready to eat, and we have some limes and cucumbers, lots of cucumbers. I don't know why we have 2 open limes, sometimes that happens. And then this one, we got bell peppers and some broccoli in here and asparagus. And then right here we have tortillas. We use a lot of corn tortillas, but sometimes we use flour. The kids like flour tortillas too. So we got a few different kinds of flour tortillas in here. And we also have coconut tortillas. Got some ground flax seeds in here that we put in our smoothies and other dishes. Rice vinegar and tamari. And over here we have our condiments and some like stuff to add to our smoothies and supplements. So we have some peanut butter whenever like we're looking for just plain peanut butter. We also have some nutso, and then we got some hot sauces. We got sriracha. We made buffalo cauliflower wings and used this in it, Frank's hot sauce, but we don't normally use that one. And then we have some aloe vera, which we keep in the fridge because it's nice to have it nice and cool after you get back from the beach and put on your body. This is in the fridge and it's not open, and I have no idea how it got here, to be honest. I don't know who bought it. I don't know why we have it. We've never used it. And then we have some almond butter as well. We also have hemp seeds that we put into our smoothies, and barley grass juice powder. Alright, then we have some pickled stuff. We got jalapeno peppers and pepperoncinis, grape pepperoncinis, relish, tomato paste, some jelly, and mustard. I love mustard. And baking soda. And lastly, we have this veggie drawer. So we have cauliflower and lettuces from the farmer's market, and kale, and cabbage, purple cabbage, and some cilantro in here. And then we have chopped up lettuce that I have for pre-made and ready to go when I'm ready to make salads for us throughout the week for the family. And I wrap it in a dishcloth towel so that it absorbs the moisture after I wash the lettuce. And under here I have some pre-cut broccoli, which we use in dinners, and it's just nice to pre-cut it and easier to grab when you're ready to add some vegetables to your dishes. And some ginger. Alright, lastly in the freezer we have some bread and buns, Ezekiel bread and buns, and some Beyond Meat vegan sausages, and frozen fruits. We got blueberries, frozen mango, some mixed fruit. And then in here we have my breast milk that I pump almost every morning to donate to another mother in need, and then I keep some for myself if I need to go out for a couple hours. And then we have some ice cube trays, we have some organic popsicles, frozen bananas, and lastly we have some frozen corn and some coconut flour from when Andrew makes fresh coconut milk. Alright, that's the end of my kitchen and updated fridge tour. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.